Me and my husband met in high school. My dad ended up finding out and taking me to India to show me the culture and show me the way of how good little Indian girls are supposed to marry within their culture. And I'm pretty sure he was trying to leave me there, which wasn't successful. I ended up coming back to the United States and breaking up with my husband because I was like, there's just so much pushback when it came to my family. So I was like, okay, I can't deal with this. A few months later, I was like, look, I love this guy. I can't lose him. He is my person. So ended up getting back with him, but of course sneaking around about it. Got caught again by my dad. He was posted up in a parking lot and saw me, and I ended up running away from home. My parents are actually divorced. So my dad lives in Houston. That's where we were at the time. And my mom lives in Utah. So I ended up moving with my mom in Utah. Told her about the whole situation. She was like on the fence about it, but she was trying to keep an open mind. She's probably thinking, oh, this is just a fling. It's not going to last very long. And well, ended up convincing her to move back to Houston. She actually wanted me to leave him already. So I was kind of sneaking around her back on being with him. So then one day I ended up running away again because there was just a lot of drama between my parents and my mom and my dad. And it was a lot for me to take in. I was 17. I ran away. I was like, look, I can't do it. So I ended up getting caught after I ran away and going home. I was already, I think, 3 months pregnant at the time. My mom immediately said, get an abortion. He's going to leave you. He's going to knock you up and not ever talk to you again. You know, stereotyping black men. And I was like, you don't know him. You don't know what we have and all that. So anyways, ultimately, as soon as I turned 18, I had my son 3 weeks before I turned 18. So after I had my son, waited about 2 months to stack my money and moved out. So over the years, my mom's been a little bit more open-minded about the kids. She says she likes them. Her actions are different. But, you know, ultimately, I feel she only likes my kids that look Indian and not black. So actions speak louder than words to me. So there's that. My dad, on the other hand, he never had pictures of the kids, never really asked about them, doesn't really care, said I was off in school in some foreign land to all his people. So I haven't talked to him in like over a decade. So short story.
Because of the family cultures, so according to them, they would like to marry an Indian guy only. So first preference and first priority we will give to Indian guy.
How do you feel about that? Yeah, you get that a lot. A lot of Indians are not interested in being with a black man. They would date a white man, they'll marry a white person, no problem. But for a black person, they're not very much interested. How does that make you feel? I'm very interested to know, how does that make you feel? Crazy stuff. Okay.
Indians don't like their kids marrying blacks because of religion. Majority of them are Hindus and some are Muslims. And when you come to Africa, majority of Africans are Christians. So you find that they don't like intermarrying with blacks because of such reasons. However, you need to know that that is just one of the very many excuses that they use to not marry blacks. Why? Because Indians have no issue with their kids marrying a white person. They have no issue with a white color. But when it comes to black, that is where they draw the line. Another reason is arranged marriages. Most Indians assign their kids husbands and wives when they are still young. You're 5 years, you're 2 years, you already have someone to marry you when you grow up. So when a black man meets an Indian lady and proposes, it's very hard for that man to marry that woman. Why? Because she already has someone assigned to her. And it would be very hard for this man to go and convince the family to that lady, that I want to marry your daughter, when already that family has someone assigned to this lady. I was reading an article earlier today, and there's this guy who studied and lived in India for quite a while. This guy said that in India, blacks are considered to be demons. That is how these people see us. Indians don't allow their kids to interact or even play with black kids. They don't. Indians refer to us as monkeys. The guy said that they call us Banda. Banda is an Indian name for monkey. That is how they call us. So it's very hard for a black person who wants to marry an Indian person, because they have to fight hard for them to be accepted in the Indian society. It's very hard for them to be accepted. These people can't allow their kids to interact with blacks. Like you saw that girl who was saying her mom has never accepted her kids. Her kids, one of the kids is, I think, 21 years now, but the mom, the grandmother, has never accepted those kids. Imagine being a grandmother to someone, but you don't accept that person as your blood, your flesh and blood, as your grandchild. In Africa, our favorite people are our grandparents, not even our parents, because we know how our grandparents treat us. They treat us better than the way our moms, our dads treat us. Now you can imagine there's someone here, just because her kid gave birth to a black child, she cannot accept those kids because they are black. And we are so busy wanting to marry these people. Why do we have to fight to be accepted where we are not wanted, where you are not valued? Because if someone values you, you won't even have to fight hard. Automatically you will be accepted. How can you call someone a demon who has 2 legs, 2 hands, 2 eyes, just like you? The only difference between me and you, or the only difference between me and an Indian person is my color, my skin color. Like I said, most unions in India are arranged marriages. So it's very hard for a black person to meet a lady. Let's say a man meet a lady, or a lady meets a man, for them to go and convince their family to allow them to marry. It's very hard because most of Indians have already been assigned spouse. In India, there are several skin complexion. There are those with fair skin complexion and dark skin complexion. And Indians are so obsessed with color, with white color. Yeah? They're so obsessed with white color to an extent where they will not allow their kid, if someone is from a fair complexion, they cannot allow their kid to get married to an Indian who is from a dark complexion, who has a dark complexion. Yeah, because they vary. There are those with very fair complexion. Those are considered to be very rich than the dark complexion, and you find that a woman coming from a fair complexion cannot be allowed to marry someone from a dark complexion, because most dark Indians are considered to be from poor background. Yeah, most of them, you'll find them doing odd jobs like cleaning cleaning public toilets, cleaning the environment, collecting trash here and there. Yeah, so it's very hard for a woman coming from a very light skin colored family for her to be married to a black person, to be married to a black Indian. So now imagine you coming from Africa with a very dark skin color. You expect this Indian family to accept you when they cannot even accept their own people, their own Indian people. Have you guys never seen black Indians? Indians who look just like us, but they're Indians. Other Indians who are lighter skinned, they don't accept them. They don't accept them for marriages. Now you want to go there as a black person from Africa. You want to force force yourself to a family that will never accept you.
Coming from a society where you have castes, dividing people perceive themselves higher, better, more important than others. It's clearly something that will replicate itself in the future. And yeah, up until today, I don't know, maybe you don't know it, many African students go through hardships in India. There's a lot of Africans that go to India to study. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they feel that universities in India are much better than the ones in Africa. I have no idea why. And it's cheaper than going to Europe or United States. But unfortunately, at many instances, many African students have been beaten up for no reason. Some have been for no reason.
A Congolese national had died while he was in police custody on Sunday night. While in police custody, he allegedly got a cardiac arrest and could not be saved even after being rushed to a private hospital.
Now, if you get back to history, I think history is very interesting to look at because it gives us a lot of insight to many things of today that we may not understand. You know, within the Indian community, thousands of years ago, they had societal structures on top of like a pyramid system of society. Some people were on top, some people were at the bottom. The people on top most of the time were the lighter skinned people, and the darker you went to the lower stage, lower level of the society. On top of the pyramid, you had the people that they called the Brahmin. Brahmin people were priests and intellectuals at the time. They ruled over India. They were the most respected people. After them came the Kshatriya. Kshatriya people were nobles and warriors. And after the Kshatriya, you got the Vaishyas. They were business owners. After the Vaishyas, or below the Vaishyas, you had the Shudras. They were servants and workers. Then below the Shudras, you had the untouchable. The untouchable community that called today Dalit are the darker skin of Indians. Those ones, no, you can't talk to them. They mostly do, work like working in the sewage, cleaning toilets, doing, that's exactly what it is. The bottom line is, if you look at the world, very honestly, you will notice that black people are not respected anywhere in the world. There are black people in India.
Most of black people, when they become rich and famous, all they want to do is find white people and marry. Yeah, they forget that their fellow black people do exist. For instance, how many black footballers have we seen after they became famous? They got married to white girls. Yeah, after they became famous, majority of them or some of them had black girlfriends, but they never got married to their girlfriends. They ended up marrying white people because now they're famous, they have money, they're wealthy. Yeah, they want now to marry a white person to complement whatever that they have. You think by marrying a white person you'll suddenly become white, or or maybe because you want the society to respect you. You want people to fear you. When they see you with a white person, you want people to fear you. Forgetting that the only difference between a black person and a white person is just the color. Nothing much, just the color. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask black people a question. Why do you have to force yourself where you're not wanted? Why do you have to force yourself to a family that will never accept you? A family that will always see you as an outcast. Yes, you're married to their kid, but they will never accept you or that child that you're going to give birth to. Why do you have to humiliate yourself to that extent? So guys, I'm just hoping you're learning something from this. Try love yourself. Yeah? There's more value in Africa than you can think of. Some of you think that going outside, finding a partner from outside is better than finding someone from Africa. When yet, maybe you could find your happiness is just here. So value yourself. Anyway guys, we meet again on the next episode. Yeah?